Hello everyone, it's Volca back to another video, and today we're going to be looking at the Transformers Wild King Captain Volca and Spirituan. I hope I said that right, because there's like 3 different names I found for this guy. So before we get started, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below which video or what else you'd like to see in a video. So into the figures themselves, and again, I'm doing them together because they're basically the exact same mold, the exact same transformation, just a little bit different in the arms, but yeah. So here we have them in their base robot modes, as if you were to take them out of the package. So let's take a quick look at Captain Volca. So you get that nice face sculpt with the eye patch, a little bit orange for the crest, silver for the face. Looks really, really good. Get some nice orange all throughout. So, and you even get the orange toenails. So set him back there, and grabbing a Spirituan. So focus, thank you. You get some nice silver for the face, red for the eyes. Get some kind of a maroon all throughout the figure, and even maroon toenails. So looks really good. So yeah, overall not too bad. Now, as far as putting their accessories on, you just want to first grab their element piece, and you're plugging it in on the opposite side. So for the Autobots, you'd be on this side. For the cons, they're going on that side. I mean, granted, it also doesn't really matter. It is your toy. You put it however you want. But then the tails, make sure you have the one peg hole, and it will plug into the shoulder. Same thing for the dinosaur head. And there is that. For him, he's just a little bit more involved, just because he's got a frill piece, which that really just plugs onto the back right there. So get that plugged in, and everything else is exactly the same. So grab all that, grab all this, and there you go. There you have them all kitted out. So yeah, out of the two, I think this one just edges out Captain Volca just a little bit more. And yeah, but as far as articulation, we're going to use Captain Volca because he's got something special with this arm. Mainly that it loves to pop off, and he's the only one who has that issue. But, it's a typical Wild King series stuff. You get the 360 at the shoulders, out that far, bicep rotation, 90-degree of elbow bends. You get waist, legs move forward that far, back all the way. Can do the full splits. You get thigh rotation, and you get 180-degree knee bend. So, yeah, overall not too bad in the articulation. I still would have liked to see some head articulation, but it's also kind of understandable why they didn't, because that is a very small piece and kind of a thin one. So it might have affected transformation, but yeah. But anyways, for a real quick size comparison, here we have G2 Sideswipe, and I just unalived them. Yay! But anyways, G2 Sideswipe, so they're about, the mini-bot sized. Overall, these two aren't, horrible. The dinosaur ones in their robot modes are not as good, in my opinion, as the animal tribe ones, just because you got more stuff on, hanging off of them, so yeah. But anyways, let's get down to transformation. So we're going to use Spirituan for this. So to get started, you want to remove the frill, set it off to the side. Basically remove everything until you're left with the base of the figure. So the only difference between him and this guy is the arms. So for him, you'd still flip back the head. Oh, nope, flip it in, hold it back, and rotate this up, plug it together. And if you're transforming him, you would rotate so that way the claws will be facing out and fold his arms in, so then that he would have raptor claws. For this one, you just want to rotate the arm and flip it out for those claws. So there is that. Then you just plug the legs together, rotate at the waist, bring it down. Then you want to grab the tail section, flip it around so the dual peg system is up. So get that plugged in. There we go. Then you can fold that up, bring this down, kind of angle the legs a little bit. Then you want to bring in the Spinosaurus head, flip it again for the dual pegs, and that will plug right up front. Take the little energy piece, plug it onto either hip. And finally, take the frill. You're going to be using the, again, dual peg systems going into the chest. Now, you can plug it in right here if you like. You can plug it more centered. I'm going to do that. I think it just looks a little bit better. But there you go. There you have a Spirituan in his dinosaur mode. So give me just 1 second to get Captain Volca. Alright, here we have Captain Volca in his dinosaur mode, and yeah, overall they look really good together. As far as dinosaur mode, I don't know, I'm kind of torn. I like the, the red and the Barneysaurus. Yeah, I had to make that joke. Going on right here, but I really like just overall him. I don't know, it's just something about a Spinosaurus versus a T-Rex that just works, so. Well, let's take a quick look at Spirituan's head sculpt. So, looks really nice. Would have been nice to see some of that kind of maroon on, his neck. But at least you get the red for the eyes and a little bit for the snout. And other than that, we've pretty much seen all the other details. And I would, again, maybe like seeing some maroon on the tail. Would have been nice too, but oh well. So, and for Captain Volca, tail. Now, typically, he does not have silver on the claws. I did that myself, and it just works. So, but really, should I go into manicuring, guys? Look, I did really. Yeah, I'm gonna shut up about that now. But overall, looks really good. So, yeah, would have been nice to see some orange maybe on the tail. But other than that, looks really good. So, as far as articulation, the mouth do open and close. No articulation to the head. For him, there is no articulation on the claws. It just looks a little weird because, robot arms are attached. But since those are his robot arms, you get the full range of motion. You get the hip rotation. Since the tail is plugged into the legs that are connected together, you don't get any, split movement and all that, but you still get the 90 degrees and just 90 degrees of knee bend. So. Overall, they're not, again, the most articulated things in the world, but they're not total bricks either. You're just not going to get any fun little poses out of them. So, but as far as size comparison, G2 side swipe. So, as you can see, they're both a pretty small dinosaurs. So, there is all of that. So, as I said, overall, I think Spirituan just edges out Captain Volca. I mean, Grand Captain Volca has, an awesome head sculpt with the eye patch and everything. But, just something about a Spinosaurus just does it for a T-Rex. I still would, if Hasbro ever brought these over to the United States, I would love to get a second one of these and repaint this guy into Scorn. Yeah, he won't scale with the 86 Dinobots, but I mean, it'd give us Scorn. That'd be fun. And maybe this one into Transmetal Megatron, aka Barney. So, who knows? We shall see. But as a Wild King tradition, they both form arms and shins. So let's get started. So we're going to use him because he just got the extra frill. So we're going to set him off to the side. Basically strip him down for spare parts again. So strip all that down. You want to straighten out the legs, rotate the waist 180, and go ahead and fold up the legs. And you got this channel right here for a tab right there. Get that plugged in. Nice to get that plugged in. Come on. Oh, it is. Okay. And just kind of straighten out these arms as well. And there is your arm/shin. Now for the shin, you would obviously plug this in up here. I like to fold it down so it doesn't stick out as far. So there is that. And unfortunately for this, if you're going to have him as a leg, you have to plug it onto the opposite side he's going to be on. So, or on the same side he's going to be on, if that makes any sense. So, but I'm going to get Captain Volca transformed up while he just nosedived. Alright, King Captain Volca transformed, and I did forget something. When these guys, specifically the dinosaur tribe, goes into their arm mode, you take the dinosaur head and plug it onto the bottom of the fist for that look. So, but now that we have everyone in their respective forms, bring in all the extra parts, we're going to bring in Megatron, who already has Leafback transformed. I don't know if I'm going to do a review on Megatron. Maybe I'll do a short. I don't know. And also, I'm not going to be attaching this to his head. It just looks stupid and out of place. So, get him set right there. Get Spirituan, connect it all up. So, get that connected. Bringing in Megatron here. And we're going to plug him in. Get that out of the way. So, get that plugged in. There we go. Now, real quick though, because I'm seeing a lot of people don't know about this, when you have at least both legs done, you can store Megatron's arm in the bottom of the leg. Typically, you couldn't do that just due to the fact of this piece. But to prove it to you, if I can ever get it open, that's the wrong side. Okay, get this. So you can see Megatron's arm stores perfectly fine in there. So get that plugged back in, get that back in there as well, and get that plugged up. Okay. So now that we have him standing, and we're going to need to raise up the camera. There we go. So, per the instructions, for the tails, the one who forms the leg gets the top post, the one who forms the arm gets the side posts. So we're going to plug in Spirituan's tail right there. Sorry, not Spirituan's. His is going up here, so make sure that the dual pegs are facing down and get those plugged in right there. Now, granted, you could also just plug it onto the shoulder since we don't have the water one right now. So, getting all this plugged on. A bunch of stuff to plug on. So, get that right there. And there we go. There we have Megatron. 75% complete, so looks really good and decent. So, yeah. One complaint, again, I don't care for having to put the frill onto the side. I would have liked to see it maybe store somewhere on the bot itself. Granted, you can store it on the back of Megatron's foot, but then that extends out, your shelf space already and everything. It just, no. But at least with this one, the arm would taking up that space anyway, so yeah. But overall, looks really good. Cannot wait to get the water one to complete the look, because we got one more member besides the, a certain electric bird. So, yeah. But definitely recommend at least getting Spirituan if you want, a dinosaur one. If you want an animal one, I do recommend Ignite Leo. Both of those figures are really good. As far as good torsos, I have to give it to Optimus. Megatron just, you can keep the feet a little bit closer together, but they're just kind of skinny. And Optimus at least has some more mass to it. So, yeah, I got to give it to Optimus as far as the torso mode goes, the look of it, and all that. But that is about it. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more video reviews.